Hallo Leute, welcome back to my channel Deutsch Flix, the channel where German becomes as easy as ordering food at McDonald's.
How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get,
Actually, we don't sell, I'm sorry, sir.
So today we are tackling 3 basic types of sentences in German, and guess what? They are exactly like in English. So if you can ask your crush, do you like me? Or say I love German, you already know this sentence structure. But wait, don't go yet, let's dive into types of sentences. Okay, so I will categorize into 3. First up we have W-Fragen. W-Fragen. W-Fragen means W questions. So these are questions that start with W words like who, what, which, etc. W-Fragen. Next up we have Ja, Nein Fragen. Ja, Nein Fragen. Ja, Nein Fragen means yes, no question. Yes, no questions. So these are called yes, no questions because when you try to answer them, you get the answer as yes or no. Then at last, we have Aussagesatz. Aussagesatz. Aussagesatz means statement sentence. Or you can also call them as full stop sentence. So the answers of any W-Frage will give you Aussagesatz, and the answer of Ja, Nein Frage will also give you Aussagesatz. Now we'll look at the examples and the sentence structure, like where is my verb, where will be the W word, where will be the subject, etc. So we have W-Frage, Aussagesatz, and Ja, Nein Frage. And we will also discuss the position of the verb. Verb position, depending on the type of sentence, if it is W question, yes, no question, or Aussagesatz. Okay, so let's take the easiest example of W-Frage in English. We'll take who are you. Now, if you look closely, in English, we have first position fixed for any W word. Then comes our verb, and then comes the subject, because subject has to conjugate the verb, right? In German also, what we'll do is, we'll do the literal translation. So, who is called wer. Then we have the verb are, is MR, which is called sein in German, right? And then you, we can take du. Now the problem is with the conjugation. I cannot say wer sein du. I have to conjugate the verb sein according to du, which will be wer bist du, and we are done. So in case of W-Frage, my first position is fixed for W word, wer what. And second position is fixed for verb. and then in the third position we'll have the subject, Subjekt. So I'll write here zwei, that the verb position is Nummer zwei, number 2. So for Aussagesatz, we'll take another simple sentence. I am German teacher. So I is called ich. Again we have the verb sein, which we will conjugate according to ich. So it will be ich bin. Now German teacher will be Deutsch, and teacher is called Lehrer. So in case of Aussagesatz, only the second position is fixed, which will be taken by the verb. So Nummer zwei will be the position of my verb. Now, in case of Ja, Nein Frage, all we have to do is, suppose you want to make yes, no question of this. I am a German teacher. So what you do in English, you just swap first and second position and you're done. Same thing we have to do in German. So if you were to translate am I German teacher, so all we have to do is swap first and second position, and I'll say bin ich Deutschlehrer. At the end we'll have question mark. So you also have to focus on the way you're speaking the sentence. So it should be like bin ich Deutschlehrer. So as you can see, in case of yes no question, Ja Nein Frage, my first position is fixed, which will be taken by the verb. Now someone has to conjugate the verb, right? So second position is also fixed, which will be taken by the subject. And then comes the remaining part. Okay, so I'll write here Nummer eins. So in case of yes no question, first position is fixed for verb. So verb takes second position in W-Frage, second position in Aussagesatz, and first position in Ja Nein Frage. Let's also discuss one more question. So we'll again take 3 sentences. For W-Frage, let's take, what are we learning today? What are we learning today? So as you can see, we have what in the first place, which is called was in German. And then in the second place, we have the verb are. But wait, do we have to conjugate this helping verb are? Now remember the presence episode in which we saw, when we say ich trinke, it means I drink, I am drinking, and I will drink. That means there's no need of translating are and even that ing part in case of learning. Okay, so in the second place you can say we have the verb lernen, and then at the third place we have the subject we, which is called wir, and this will be our answer. So we'll say was lernen wir? Fragezeichen, question mark. Also check, is the conjugation correct? Yes, the conjugation is correct. Was lernen wir means what are we learning? But we are missing out on today part. Now where will we keep this? Obviously after wir. So we'll write today after wir, which is called heute. Was lernen wir heute? Now for Aussagesatz, let's take the sentence. We are learning Spanish every day. So we'll do the literal translation. We is called wir in German. Then we have are learning. So again, there's no need of conjugating this are because the main verb is to learn. And to learn is called lernen. So I'll write lernen. And the conjugation is completely fine. That's how we conjugate the verb according to wir. Wir lernen. Spanish is called Spanisch. Spanisch. And for every day, we will say jeden Tag. Okay. Now the thing is, for Germans, time is money. Zeit ist Geld. So what they do is they keep the time adverbs, basically the time related things, be it every day, today, tomorrow, at 9, these things as close as possible to the verb. So what I'll do is I'll write jeden Tag after lernen, as close as possible to the verb. Spanish will come here. So correct answer would be wir lernen jeden Tag Spanisch. So my verb has to be in the second place. Now in case of Aussagesatz, first position is not fixed. There's one more possibility. What you can do is you can bring jeden Tag in the very first place. So basically you can start your sentence with every day as well. Jeden Tag. Now I cannot change the position of the verb lernen. It has to come after jeden Tag only. Jeden Tag lernen, then wir, and then Spanisch. As you can see, I have not violated the rule of Aussagesatz. My verb is in the second place. So this jeden Tag is complete one entity. Everyday jeden Tag. Lernen is in the second place. And guys, I have also observed German learners doing this mistake. So what they do is, after jeden Tag they put comma, and then they say wir lernen Spanisch, which is wrong because you have violated the rule of Aussagesatz here. As you can see, jeden Tag in the first place, wir in the second place, and lernen in the third place. How is it possible? That's why this sentence is completely wrong. Make sure you're putting the verb in the second place. Now for yes no question, what we can do is we can swap first and second position, and we can say lernen wir Spanisch jeden Tag, which will mean are we learning Spanish every day? Are we learning Spanish every day? Or maybe instead of Spanish, let's write French so that you get to know the word for French as well. So what I'll do is I'll swap first and second position and I'll say lernen wir. So verb will come in the very first place. I'll write lernen. Then comes the subject wir. Someone has to conjugate the verb, right? So in case of yes no question, first and second position is fixed, then comes the remaining part. Now time is money for German. We'll write jeden Tag here, and then at the end The word for French is Französisch. Französisch. Lernen wir jeden Tag Französisch? And the answer to this would be nein. We're not learning French, we are learning German, Deutsch. Wir lernen jeden Tag Deutsch. So a quick recap. In case of W question, W-Frage, first, second and third position is fixed. First position will be taken by W word, second position by the verb, third position subject, because someone has to conjugate the verb. In case of Aussagesatz, only second position is fixed. Anything can come in the first place. So I'll highlight lernen, that only the second position is fixed. In case of yes no question, you can see first position fixed by the verb, second position fixed by the subject. Someone has to conjugate the verb. So I'll write 1 here and 2 here, and then comes the remaining part. So if we have time adverb, any time adverb, then we will write time adverb just after the subject. Otherwise, if we do not have any time adverb, then the remaining things will come after we. Now time for a quick challenge. You have to translate these sentences and I'll show my answers in 5 seconds. Alright, let's discuss the answer. So first position fixed by W word, was. There's no need of translating does in German. The main verb is drink. How do we say drink in German? We say trinken. Was trinken. Then comes the subject, which is er. At the end, question mark. Now the problem is with the conjugation. It is not conjugated properly. With er we say trinkt. Was trinkt er is the correct answer. Now for Aussagesatz, he is called er. We have drink. I'll conjugate it according to er. Er trinkt. Now water is called Wasser. Er trinkt Wasser. Punkt. Now making yes no question very easy. All you have to do is swap the first and second position and you're done. So we will say trinkt er Wasser. Trinkt er Wasser. Does he drink water? Also pay attention to the intonation. So as you can see, again I'm not translating does of English. Okay, so if this wasn't 100% correct for you, I have another challenge. So again you have to translate the sentences and I'll show my answers in 5 seconds. Alright, so here again there's no need of translating will in German. I'll put a big cross over will because the main verb is live. Now what is live in German? Leben oder wohnen. So for where, the W word is called wo. Then comes the verb leben oder wohnen. And how is they called in German? It is called as sie. Wo leben oder wohnen sie is the correct answer. For Aussagesatz, sie leben oder wohnen. For here we'll say hier. And for Ja Nein Frage, all we have to do is swap the first and second position and we'll say leben oder wohnen sie hier? So S has to be small because small z is called they. Here I have written S as capital because I'm starting my sentence. If you are starting any sentence, first letter has to be capital. Okay, So if you still believe that you have not really mastered the types of sentences, I have a surprise for you. Okay, so we have another practice exercise. You can see we have 15 jumbled sentences. So a mix of statement sentence, W question or yes no question. So what is your mission here? You have to rearrange them correctly and figure out what type of sentence they are. I can maybe explain you the first part, how to do it. Now your first step is to identify the type of sentence. As you can see, we have full stop at the end. That means this is my Aussagesatz statement sentence. So in case of statement sentence, I can start my sentence with er. Er. Now second position is fixed by the verb. I'll write the verb, which is lernt, and then comes the remaining part, which will be Deutsch. Punkt. So the correct answer would be er lernt Deutsch. Similarly, you have to solve the other questions. Remember, firstly identify the type of sentence just by looking at the end. If we have full stop or question mark, if we have question mark, then which type of question is this? Is this W-Frage or Nein Fragen? Okay, so it's time to discuss the answers. Second question, I can see question mark at the end. Question mark is called Fragezeichen. Fragezeichen. There's no W word over here. So this is normal yes no question. So what I'll do is I'll write hast at the very first place. Now who is conjugating the verb haben as hast? Du. Now we have time related thing here. We have heute. So I'll write heute here and then comes Zeit. Fragezeichen. Hast du heute Zeit? Do you have time today? Hast du heute Zeit? Now third, we have Punkt. Punkt. Full stop is called Punkt, which means this is my Aussagesatz statement sentence. So I can start my sentence with the subject itself. I'll write sie, then comes the verb trinkt. Also we have time related thing, morgens Kaffee. Punkt, which means she drinks coffee in the morning. Now number 4, we have question mark at the end. We also have W word. So I'll say warum. I'll start my sentence with warum. Then comes the turn of verb, which will be lernst, conjugated according to do. Now comes the remaining part, which is Deutsch. Warum lernst du Deutsch? Now in 5th question, we have full stop, which means this is a statement sentence. So I can start my sentence with ich, then comes the verb wohne and the remaining part in Berlin, which means I live in Berlin. Now question number 6, we have question mark at the end. Do we have W word? Yes, we do have V. So I'll start my sentence with V, then comes the verb heißt, and then comes the subject. Wie heißt du? Wie heißt du means what's your name? What are you called? Now question number 8, we have question mark Fragezeichen at the end. That means we have to perform another check. Is it like yes no question or W question? There's no W word, so we'll start our sentence with the verb itself. Kommt, conjugated according to er, and then comes the remaining part, aus Deutschland. kommt aus Deutschland? Does he come from Germany? Now, question number 9, which is a statement sentence. So I'll start my sentence with the subject wir, then comes the verb gehen. Oh, we also got time related thing, heute, which means today. So we are going today, where? Ins Kino, in the cinema. Now for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, I'll write the answers. Okay. Magst du Fußball? Do you like football? Wann geht ihr nach Hause? When do you guys go back home? Nach Hause means to home. Das ist mein Hund, that is my dog. Was magst du morgen? What are you doing tomorrow? Lernen wir Deutsch? Are we learning German? Wo wohnt er? Where does he live? Now you can let me know your score out of 15 and you have to be honest. If you get them all right, you win absolutely nothing. Accept my respect and that's priceless. Alright Leute, that's a wrap. And now you know how to form sentences in German. So no more heute ich lerne Deutsch, disaster. So like, subscribe and hit the bell. If you don't want your German skills to be a badly dubbed movie, see you next time. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss.
Like and subscribe.